This video will help you understand why you should have a way to air up your tires and the different options that are available. It will help you figure out if the option that I chose is also the right option for you, and show you all the different places where it can be mounted in your Jeep. Hi, and welcome to my channel. If you're like me, you watch how other people customize their vehicles so that you can get ideas on how to better customize yours. My goal in this video is to show you how I customize my Jeep and utilize the gear, so that by watching, it might give you ideas on how to better customize your build. As you're watching me figuring out the solutions and finding answers, hopefully it'll give you ideas along the way. If you're new here, please consider subscribing as you're watching, and also everything I mentioned in this video is linked in the description box below. So let's jump into it. Having a way to air up your tires is a matter of when, not if, you will need to do it. Having an onboard system is not only a convenience, but also a possible requirement in case of emergencies. So in this video, we will look at why you might want to consider some type of an air up system and the different options that are available. We will look at the features of the option that I chose to help you decide if it is also the right option for you. And finally, we will go over the possible locations for mounting it. In addition, make sure you stick around to the end, because at the end of this video, I will also show you other resources for getting ideas. All right, so let's look at why you should consider having a way to air up your tires while you're out on your adventure. I would say there are two main reasons. The first and most obvious reason is simply in case of emergencies. For example, if you puncture a tire, you will need to repair it, and after repairing it, you will need to pump it back up. The second reason is you want to be able to air up your tires after going off-road. Let me explain. All right, so before you start driving on a dirt road or trail, you should lower your tire pressure from normal highway driving PSI to something a lot lower, like 10 to 15 PSI. This way, as you're driving, the tires will absorb some of the bumps and vibrations from driving on a rocky or uneven terrain and give you a lot more comfortable ride. The lower tire pressure also lets the tire flex and shape as you drive over sharp rocks, and as the tire is able to flex, it reduces the possibility of slashing and damaging or even destroying the tire. And so, after you're done with the trail and are ready to get back on a paved road, you will need to have a way to get back to normal highway driving PSI. So in order to pump up your tires, you will need to have some type of a way to do it. All right, so there are many different ways to pump up your tires. Here are some of the ones that I have used in the past. I also tried this compressor from Harbor Freight, but I don't have it anymore because it was way too slow. So all these methods let you pump up your tires, but each of these takes about 10 to 15 minutes to go from 20 to 30 PSI per tire. That's roughly 45 minutes to an hour to air back up after riding on a trail. So for me personally, what ended up happening is that I just didn't air down, because after I was done with the trail, I didn't want to spend another hour to air back up. So instead, I would have to deal with this. So one day, after driving over 20 miles on a washboard dirt road, I finally decided to upgrade to a proper air up system. So my requirements for the air up system are that it has to be able to pump up the tires a lot faster than 10 minutes per tire. It has to be convenient, as in there is no packing and unpacking, there's no wires to deal with. And the system has to take up as little space as possible. So to keep it simple, I just looked up what most experienced overlanders use, which is the ARB compressor. And what I found out is that there are basically three options. They are the one in the box, the single, or the twin. So as I looked at the three ARB options, the one in the box did not meet my requirement because it was too bulky, as in it is another box to deal with and pack away, plus there's plugging and unplugging. The twin ARB compressor seemed like an overkill for my 33s, and it was still pretty bulky. So looking at the single ARB compressor, it seemed like it was small enough, and once mounted, I don't have to think about plugging and unplugging and then putting it away. Plus, what others have said, it seemed powerful enough for my 33s. The other features that I like about this compressor is that it's flexible. The body and the manifold can be rotated 180 degrees by simply loosening a few bolts, which lets you configure it and mount it almost anywhere. In addition, the compressor is semi-permanently mounted somewhere in the vehicle, so that all you have to do is connect the air hose and hit the switch. Okay, so now that we reviewed the features of this compressor, let's look at where this compressor can be mounted in the Jeep. So the first and probably the most popular location is under the hood. And because of the compressor's flexibility, it can be configured in different ways and mounted in several locations under the hood with custom mounts that can either be purchased or DIY fabricated. A less popular spot is here behind the fender cover, something like this. Another spot is here under the driver's seat. It fits in there perfectly and still with some room to spare. You can also mount it under the front passenger seat, and I think this is where I will be mounting mine. You can also mount it under one of the rear passenger seats. I also saw videos of people mounting the compressor in this cargo cubby. So I made a platform for a fridge, and this compressor would even fit right behind the fridge slide. Also, I have seen some people mount it on a rear wheel well with a custom mount. Some people even attach it to the roll bar in the rear, basically the same spot where people attach their fire extinguishers. And finally, as promised, this is where you can find additional ideas for your Jeep. You can go to the Extreme Terrain website, find the product you are interested in, and click on the customer picks. Once here, you will see tons of pictures of how other people installed and used the product you're looking to get. Okay, so hopefully this video helped you understand the reasons for having an ARB system and the different options that are available, the features of the ARB single air compressor, and the different places this compressor can be mounted inside your Jeep. In the next video, I will show you how I installed the compressor and how I solved the wire confusion. Please let me know in the comments if this video was helpful or if you have other ideas on where this compressor can be mounted. Also, if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to help the YouTube algorithm get this video to others who may find it helpful. And once again, thank you for watching.